This video is for the parents with kids in transition, because it's only us that really understands the severity of the time that they're in, right? They're graduating from high school, going into their adult lives, and a lot of them have boyfriends and girlfriends, and a lot of them just want to be doing what their friends is doing. It's up to us to help them understand the severity of the time that they're in, because you got to understand that the enemy always comes for the youth when they're in transitional times that they really don't understand, because those are the times where that young dumb energy, we swear we know everything at 16, 17, 18, and then the enemy just comes in with all his wiles, and our kids just are so oblivious, and they swear they got it figured out. They swear we stupid for trying to help them, trying to save their life, you know what I mean? And this is a very serious transitional pivotal time for them, and the enemy comes in with all kind of stuff to set them on a path that they're gonna end up being on for at least the next 12 years of their life before they even realize just how ignorant they really are, before they even realize just how stupid their mindset is. And I use the word stupid because anybody who's ever been young, you know how ignorant you were at 16, 17, and 18, and you just swore all the people around you who was trying to save your life, you just swore they was just as ignorant too, right? And it's such a pivotal transitional time for them, because they have no idea what the enemy is about to place in their path to keep them in this loop, right? This mental mindset and ideal that they're going to be in for the next 12 years of their life before they even realize what the heck happened. And then they're going to look up and they're going to be like, where did my life go? It seems like 2 years ago I was graduating high school. Now here I am, a whole 32-year-old coming out of my high school mentality. You know what I mean? That's what happened to a lot of us. A lot of us don't even realize that a lot of the mental, the mindsets and the mental thought habits and patterns that we operated in, we didn't even really realize the real detriment of the mindset and the mentalities and the heart set that we were operating in until we got in our 30s. And then we finally realized, like, wow, we've been ignorant for a long time. And this is a very transitional time for our kids right now, who are transitioning from high school to adult life, transitioning from, college to the world, transitioning from, junior high to high school. That's where the enemy really likes to get us, is in the transition. It's always the transition. If you look back on your life, it was always a transitional time. It was always a transitional period, right? It's that time when it's time for you to move higher. It's that time when it's time for you to go to the next level, right? It's that time when God is calling you higher. And then what the enemy do, he comes in and he be like, what you think you doing? Who you think you are? You can't do all that. And all of them, like blocking thoughts that comes in. It's always the transitional periods that the enemy comes in and tries to do his real big work, so yeah. A lot of us are guilty of not always being able to show our kids the right way to go, right? Because we got to be a mama, we got to be the employee, we got to be the cook, we got to be everything. We got to be the wife, we got to be everything, right? And by the time we finish being everything, we just don't be feeling like being the Sunday school teacher, and we just don't feel like being the Bible study coach. We just want to lay down. And meanwhile, had to learn the hard way. That's also part of our job, because the Bible tells us, train up your kids in the right way that they should go, so that when they're old, they won't depart from it. So that's our part. It's our part to train them in the way that they should go. And then we get, we start acting all shocked and stuff when they get 16, 17, 18, and they start wanting to do what their friends do and wanting to do what the world say is cute and all of that. Meanwhile, we should have been training them. We should have been training them, not just telling them, not just doing, not just yelling at them, but training them in the right way that they should go, right? And if we're being honest, sometimes we just got to be honest that, we didn't do it diligently. We kept our jobs diligently. You know what I mean? We kept our bills paid diligently. We did all the stuff that, we're supposed to do to seem like responsible adults. But the truth is that we should have been training our children too. We should have been training them, because just taking them to church, that's nice. But then what they see you doing, you know what I mean? What happens when we go home? Because church is one experience, but then what happens when we go home? You know what I mean? What are we teaching our kids at home? What are they seeing us do? How do they hear us speaking? You know what I mean? We have to train. We should have been training them. And now they're in a transitional time, and we have to save them. We have to save them. We have to do our best to give them good instruction, proper understanding, you know what I mean? The word of God, because one thing I know about the word of God is that if that word is in you, God is going to respond to his word always. And we all know the world that we living in now. It ain't cute, It ain't cute. It's real questionable. And our kids need God. Our kids need God. Our kids need the word of God. So I just pray that God blesses our kids to fall in love with him. That's going to have to happen in their own time and in their own way, and on God's time and in God's way. But my prayer is that we get that word in our kids, and that God responds to his word, and that he places a love for him in their hearts. My prayer is that God chases after them, and that he places a love for our children, a love for God in their hearts. My prayer is that he places a love in our children's hearts to chase after him, to thirst after him. Because any grown person in this world that loves the Lord and has ever followed God, you know that the only thing that ever saved you in these streets, right, was the power of God, the will of God, the wisdom of God. That's the only thing that ever saved us out here. The world didn't save us. You know what I mean? The world did not save us. It's the power of God that saved us. And our kids are going to need that out here. Our kids are going to need that out here in these streets. Our kids are going to need that out here in this world. This world has nothing more powerful than the power of God and his word to offer them. This world has nothing better than the power of God and his word to offer them. There is nothing more powerful in this world than the power of God and his word to save our children. There is nothing more powerful, and they're going to need it. They're going to need it. They are going to need it. They are going to need it, and they need it now. CeCe Winans has a song that says, Father, let them fall in love with you. Please forgive them too, for they know not what they do. Father, let them fall in love with you. So please pray with me that our kids fall in love with God and that God reaches them right where they are. God bless.